everyone, welcome to my channel, Happiness Handmade. My name is Lisa and I'm a lover of all things crochet. If you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. If you are already subscribed, welcome back. Market recap. It's time for market recap. Market weekend is over. It is a couple days later because your girl needed some time to rest, to unpack everything, get it out of the car. I'm so grateful to my husband. He was so helpful helping me get everything out of the car. I don't know about you guys, but after a market, I am just drained. Even if it's a one-day market, half a day, 2-day, it doesn't matter. I am always so tired. And if you saw my market prep video, part 2, you saw how hot that market was. We were baking, you guys. It was so hot. If you didn't get a chance to see my 2-part market prep series for this market, I will have them linked in the description below. I'll pin part 2 up here as well. Definitely not a video that you have to see to be able to know what's going on in this video, but if you want more of a recap on what I brought, my display items, and all of that fun stuff, it's going to be in that 2-part market prep series. But if not, then stick around right here and we're gonna go through the recap together and what the biggest takeaways were. So get your whips, get your hooks, get your fiber fill, get your yarn, and let's get into it. So like I said in the prep video, this was literally record-breaking heat for Belton, Missouri on the day of this market. We had such a false fall here in Missouri. So for weeks leading up to this market, the weather was fall-like, so nice. 60s, 70s, a nice breeze, like perfect cardigan weather. Like it was sweater weather. Like it was so great. And then that day, the market day, 90s, like upper 90s. Heat index was crazy. It was hot, you guys. It was hot. So because of the heat, the market, like the event coordinators, the people that put on the event, they decided to end the market earlier than anticipated just for the safety of the vendors and the safety of the market goers, because you guys, it was so hot. So instead of the market being from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., they pushed it down from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., which honestly was a-okay. Towards the end of the market, it was getting really, really slow. But don't let me forget, obviously, I won't forget that. But I have really something so cool that happened at the very end of the market. So keep that in mind that it closed early, because I'm going to share something at the end that is like, it was so crazy how the end of the market went down. So stay tuned for the end. You don't want to miss it. It's like a crazy story. But anyway, they shut down the market early, but the morning was pretty busy. That was such a bummer, because the morning we had a ton of traffic, lots of people stopping at the booth. Like that felt really good. But by the time it was like it hit 12:30, 1 o'clock, it really slowed down, which is totally understandable. Like it was just so hot. So I was grateful for that early morning. But then we definitely hit a lull period. But again, I will tell you what happened at the end of the market. It's so crazy. But let's get into some of the items that sold, my best sellers, and some of the items that surprised me a little bit. So I think my best sellers of the day were the Mabel chickens. The Mabel chickens were flying out of the coop, if you will. Belton, Missouri is more like a rural area. And so there's a lot of farmers, a lot of people that have their own chickens and chicken coops and everything like that. And so a lot of people at my booth would come up and be like, oh my gosh, that's just like my chicken that I have at home, or oh, that's the same colors or whatever. And then the kids like loved the Mabel chickens. So I think this was my best seller as far as the amount that I sold. I brought a ton of Mabel chickens to my market. I sold 2 big mama Mabel chickens, several of these like standard size chickens, and then I had a couple of people buy the chicken keychains too. So the Mabel chickens did really well. I have to tell you the story about a Mabel chicken too. So this little girl, she was like not even 3. she was in her stroller and her mom came up and they were looking around, and she was looking for something like not expensive, right? Something between $5-10. And so this is when I'm always like, oh, well, the Mabel chickens, like they're baby safe. I don't use safety eyes, and they're only $10 for the normal size or the standard size Mabel chicken. She's like, oh, that's so cute. So she picks up one of the chickens and she hands it to her baby daughter. And this little girl just picks it up and puts it to her cheek and just like snuggles it and holds it and is rocking and smiling. I almost like melted to the floor like a puddle. Like, it was so cute. And this is what I love about in-person markets, is that interaction with the customers that you can't get at Etsy, you can't get at your retail spaces. Like, this little girl made my day. And I told the mom that too. I was like, she just made my day. Like, thank you so much. I see her, like, they're walking away. Okay, they already bought the Mabel chicken. She's holding it still. She's walking away and I'm seeing her. She's just cuddling it up. She was like snuggling it the whole time. That is so cool. So I hope that you guys get to experience that at your markets too. Whether it's someone who like absolutely loves one of your crochets, or a little kid that just lights up when they sees one of your crochets, or just like a really sweet, like magical moment for that family or for that kid or for that customer. My next best sellers, I think, were pretty specific to this market. So like I said in the market prep video, this market was at a fun farm. It's called Johnson Farms in, again, Belton, Missouri. And it's like a working farm. They have pumpkin patch. They have apples. You pick apples. They have like, it's so Midwestern, you guys. Like, this is what we do in the seasons. We like go to tree farms. We go to farms. We go to like fun farms to celebrate the changing of the seasons. I love it. I grew up doing that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments if there's something in your state or in your area that you guys do to celebrate fall. Like, do you have like a festival that you celebrate, or is there like a little town near where you live that does something special? Like, let me know. I'd love to know. So let me know in the comments what you guys do to celebrate fall. But for us here in the Midwest, we have a lot of fun farms. So Johnson Farms, it's a working farm. So they had pumpkins, gourds. They also have like bouncy houses and playgrounds and a corn pit and things like that for the kiddos. But they also have a sunflower field. And so I really want to hit on the like sunflower theme. So I made a couple of sunflower items and they sold really well. So for example, my sunflower babies, I took a few of these to the market and all but one sold, which was really exciting. This pattern is by Crochet by Smurf. And it was a pretty quick workup. I used Bernat Blanket for the green, Bernat Blanket Mystical for this yellow. Look at that pretty yellow color. And then the brown is actually some leftover Big Twist Posh. And so these did really well. What also did really well were my sunflower turtles. So I'll try to, I think I have a picture or like a still from a video that I can show you. But the sunflower turtles did really well too. The other items that did really well were my birthstone bunnies and my birthstone bears. I was so excited to see those sell. Our sweet little Rosie, oh hey Carly, he's down there. Our sweet little Rosie rabbit sold. So she is the birthstone pattern, but I didn't add like the heart. I just did like a little bit of a mod and like used like cute little like flower, like yarn that has like flower in her ears and her tail and her feet and arms. And she sold, and I was so excited to see her off to her new home. So the birthstone bunnies and the birthstone bears did really well. I did bring a birthstone dino. So by the time this video is released, my birthstone dino pattern will be released too, which is really exciting. My birthstone dino did not sell, but I'm definitely still gonna keep bringing him to my markets and see how he does. But the birthstone bears and the birthstone bunnies sold really well. So I'll put in the description below where you can get those patterns. I'm running 15% off right now. On Etsy. I'm sure I will still be running 15% off. I think I'm going to keep 15% off for the rest of fall on my patterns. So check that out, 15% off right now. Use the link below and get some birthstone bear and birthstone bunny patterns for your next market. Another big ticket item that sold, if you will, one of my no-sew dragons. This pattern's by Crochet by Jenna. I talked about this in the prep video. I made 2 of these. So this is obviously the pink and purple one. I made a green and blue one as well. And she sold, which is so exciting. I was so happy to see that. These drew a lot of attention too. So it's so funny with crochet because I know a lot of us talk about this, but when it comes to like pricing our items, you know, so sometimes you'll have people come up and be like, wow, this is so expensive. Like everything's so expensive. And then they walk away and you feel kind of crummy and you're like, oh no, like are my prices too expensive? But then you have people come up and they're like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. I want this. How much? That's not a problem. I would pay more. This is so great. This happens all the time, like every single market. And so that happened for my no-sew dragon. This one girl came up and she was super excited about it, but then she saw the price and was like, no way, like no way would I pay money for that. And then walked away, which is fine, which is totally fine. But then I had another customer come up that absolutely loved it. Like she barely looked at anything else. She just was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And then boom, bought it and was so happy with her purchase. So this is just another reminder to myself and to all of us, price your art items the way you want to price them what you think they are worth, price them what you are most comfortable with, because there are buyers out there that will appreciate your work. Something else I think is my second bestseller was my emotional support dumpster fires. I completely sold out of my emotional support dumpster fires. A lot of adults came up and said that that was really funny and like really cute. And they really, really liked them. So totally sold out of those. I definitely want to make more of those for my next market. I just think those are so, I have plenty of Mabel chickens. If you saw my video from a couple weeks back, I made so many Mabel chickens for like market prep, but then also for my painted tree space and everything like that. So I still have plenty of Mabel chickens left over, but I need to make more emotional support dumpster fires for my next market. So those did really well. I think my biggest surprise sell was the pumpkin spice turtle. So this girl came up and she was someone that just loves pumpkin spice everything. Okay, so we all know those girlies who just love pumpkin spice everything. And not only did she love pumpkin spice, but she also was like super into like food and animal combos. So I think of like, when I think of that, I think of like Croutons Crochet. She has all types of puns that are like animals and food products smashed together. And so that's how this like pumpkin spice turtle was, like pumpkin spice la turtle. So she absolutely loved it and she went right for it and like picked up, she's like, I'm getting this, like I have to get it. So that was really exciting because that was at a bit of a higher price point for how big it was, how long it took me to make. But it made her so happy and it was a really unique thing to bring. So the turtle sold, which was really exciting. I also sold a couple pumpkins. These were great because these were at a smaller price point. So at the markets, like I always encourage that you have an array of prices, things from $5 all the way to like your bigger ticket items like that turtle. And like you probably saw in the video, I made like a toothless dragon, right? So it's always good to have like a really like wide range of prices. These were great because the price was pretty low for all of my pumpkins. So they did really well, you know, just like people that just like pick them up and they're like, oh, this is so cute. It's an easy price point. Like I'll grab it. So the pumpkins did well. If you want to make your own, I do have a tutorial here on YouTube on how to make your own pumpkin garland. And then I also give you a guide on how you could size your pumpkins up or down. So you can make all different sizes of pumpkins, but they're doing really well this fall on Etsy, which is exciting. And they did well at the market. So I'll definitely bring more to my next one here in a couple of weeks. My loveys did well too. So I was able to put up the lovey wall. So in the market prep video, I was talking about how like, I hope it's not too windy because for my spring market, here, let me move over so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. For my spring market, it was too windy to use the pegboard here. So, but for this market, I was able to use it for the whole time. And I I thought it was so good. Like, I think it really like attracted people to the booth because it was just like a wall of loveys, and I thought it went really well. So obviously these are the loveys that did not sell, but I did have a lot of loveys sell. I had some backups too of like, I made in batch. So for example, like the cows, I had a couple of cows. I have a couple of giraffes. So the loveys did well. My loveys typically do well. I'll put the pattern designers in the description below. A lot of these are by BK Crochet, Oddball Crochet, Mama Made Minis, and then that ghost right there is the Crafting Butterfly. So the loveys always seem to do well at my markets, and that was no exception for this time. I was surprised that my Allen didn't sell, because I was like talking Allen up in my prep video, because like everywhere I take Allen, he sells. Like all my markets, I sell at least one painted tree. I cannot keep him stocked. I did not sell my Allen at the market, so that was surprising, but that's okay. Like I'm definitely bringing him to the next market. I know sometimes you just need the right buyer, you know? So those were the items that did really well. Some items surprised me a little bit. One item that surprised me were my axolotls. I didn't sell any axolotls. I had 4 or 5 out on display, and then I even had more as like backup just in case, because for my spring market, I think I sold like 8 or 9 axolotls at that market. Like I sold a ton of axolotls, so I made sure I had enough for this market. I didn't sell any axolotls at this market. Now, I obviously have them still for my next market, and I'll keep you guys posted on how they do at those markets. That happens sometimes though, right? Like you can have them go crazy at one market and then the next market, there's nothing. But the great thing about our products is that we can like, the shelf life is forever. So we can just take our plushies and our loveys and our crochets to the next market or to our retail spaces or something like that. So I will bring these to my next market in a couple of weeks, and I'll let you know how they go, or if they sell, but did not sell any at this market. The other surprise to me was my sweet little singer doll did not sell. I'm wondering if because it didn't sell, so I had my dolls kind of tucked away a little bit. Like I really liked all of my display items, but I had my dolls in like one of the bigger wooden crates in the corner. And I don't know if it was just like super obvious. And I don't know if people like knew that it was like the singer doll, right? Like you couldn't really see the microphone maybe, or maybe just people weren't interested, which is totally fine too. But I was surprised that my singer doll didn't sell, but I'm going to bring her again. I'm confident that she is going to sell to someone here in Kansas City. It's just one of those things where you got to find the right buyer. So I will bring her to the next market and see how she does. All right, we are getting to the end here, guys. So let's talk about how much we made. So after material cost, after the booth fee, we made out with $468 for this market, which I am so grateful for, especially because of the weather. I don't know about you guys. I think a really big thing is that, you know, don't come in with a lot of expectations with these markets. I say that and I give that as advice, but it's really hard to do. It's hard for me to put into practice because you work so hard. Markets are a lot of work. They take a lot of time. You know, you're there all day. Sometimes the booth fee is really expensive. Sometimes it's not, sometimes it is. And you just never know, right? I did a video all about like, are in-person markets still worth it? I'll pin it up here if you're interested. And I just kind of go into all the pros and cons of in-person markets. And one of the things is weather. And, you know, you're just never sure. Like if the weather's bad, in my case, super hot, we had to end the market early. You know, you just never know with those things. So I know that it's important to not have these outrageous expectations on ourselves. And I really try to do that. But I know for me, The sign of a successful market to me is if I can at least make the booth fee back. And for some that might be a low bar, right? Like for some that might be like, no way, like I did a lot of work, I want to make a lot of money at this thing, and that's perfectly fine. Others, it might be your first market and you're just out there trying to figure it out, or you just love going to markets and that's your jam. That's so great. For me, I try to keep my expectations low, but I definitely always have the booth fee in the back of my head. Once I hit the booth fee, I feel so much better. I'm like, okay, great. Like we made the booth fee. I can feel good about that. But again, that's totally me. That's just me. So I hit the booth fee within the first hour of the market. I was so grateful. You know, you're a little nervous. I'm a little nervous until then. Hit the booth fee within, so the rest, I'm like, okay, the rest is gravy. Like this is great. So I ended up walking away with $468 in profit for this market, which I'm really grateful for. All right, so that is a breakdown of the crochets, what sold, what didn't sell. I wanted to tell you a little bit of how I thought my like spin wheel went. You guys, so I talked about this in the prep video. I've never used like a spin wheel. I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more interactive for my market. Nothing big, something easy to carry, something that's easy and quick. So I thought a spin wheel would be really fun. You guys, it was such a hit. So you probably can't read this. For my spin wheel, I had like $1 off, $2 off, $3. I had $3 off, a free basket item, which was like a little $5 basket that I had, and a free keychain, excuse me, or a free keychain. So like if you spent, I thought about doing this just for anyone who buys anything, but I kind of switched day of. I decided anybody who spends 20 or more gets to spin. And I'm glad I did that because there were a few people that only bought a keychain or only bought a Mabel Chicken, and my standard Mabel Chickens were $10, keychains were $5. So there were a lot of people, or my pumpkins, right? Like my pumpkins were at a smaller price point too. So a lot of people just wanted just a couple of items. Someone bought just one scrunchie, right? So there was a lot of folks like that. So I'm really glad, because if I would have had all of them spin too, I feel like that would have been really starting to dig into my profits a little bit. So I'm really glad that I changed it day of to spend 20 and you get to spin the wheel. And so you spend 20, the people picked out what they wanted. They came to me and I said, okay, before I ring you up, spin the wheel. And so a lot of people had a lot of fun doing that. Even adults were like super into it. So for example, this person got $1 off on their order or their purchase that day. And so that was fun. A couple people got $3 off, which I thought, right, that's really good. Like, and then a lot of people walked away with some free keychains too. So I think the spin wheel did really well. I will put in the description where I got the spin wheel. I'm pretty sure I got it off of Amazon, and I'll link it in the description below. It's light, it's small, it was interactive, it was everything that I needed it to be for the market. So I will definitely be bringing this to my markets in the next couple of weeks, and then for the rest of the year. I thought it went really well. Something else that I wanted to point out in this recap was I have this little sign here. It says ask me about custom orders, and it's just it's nonchalant, you know, it's just like in the corner, like on the side. But I love having something like this because if there's like something that someone is interested in, but maybe it's a different color that they want or something, or maybe they just have like a totally like off the wall idea. It's nice to have this because of course you yourself can say, oh, I do custom work. Like, let me know if there's something that you want to do. But it's also nice to have just like a little reminder for people like, hey, I do custom orders too. So definitely recommend. And this is just like literally just like a piece of paper and tape that I printed. Like it's nothing fancy or anything like that. Maybe one day I'll get it laminated or something. But right now I just stick it on the corner of one of my crates, kind of right where I'm standing. And it just says, ask me about custom orders. So I recommend some signage like this. Again, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it's just a good reminder to people who may have a unique idea or something special that they're trying to plan that you do custom stuff. Now, I told you that I had a really special story that I would share at the end of this video. So like I said, remember that it was really, really hot. So the market closed 2 hours early, which is totally understandable. You guys, it was hot. I cannot stress that enough. So, you know, it really slowed down at the end of the market. We weren't really having a lot of customers come through, especially towards that like 4 o'clock mark. So vendors come around, they say, hey, we're closing early. We're closing at 5. So vendors start packing up around 4:30, and I'm feeling like really good. Like I was ready to be there till 7. You know what I mean? Like I was ready to be there till 7. I might not get home till 9 or 10. You know what I mean? Like that's just like what I was mentally prepared for. And so when they said that they were going to close up early, I was a little bummed, but I totally understood. So right around 4:30, 4:45, all of the vendors start packing up. And so I'm feeling kind of like the pressure to start packing up as well. Cause I'm like, ooh, you know, I'm not ready to pack up. Like I was going to start packing up like at 5, you know what I mean? And so I'm kind of like hanging back. I start picking up some of my display items, start putting my crochets in my bin, you know, just slowly starting to move things. And then I see the lady across from me, the vendor that is across from me, and she's not moving. She's like, no way, I am not packing up, right? Like, she's like, no, like I'm here till at least, I was planning on being here till 7. I'm going to be here till 5. I am not packing up. And she gave me such like courage to not pack up either. I don't know why I felt like I needed to pack up. But we definitely didn't. We had till 5. Like we were there. Like we had the space. The event coordinators were super awesome. They weren't like shuffling everybody out, right? So me and her just kind of, we had already been talking, you know, you just kind of chat with people within your area. One thing that I love about markets is you get to meet all the people that are in your area. And she was awesome. And she's like, I'm not moving. And I'm like, I'm not moving either. So we keep our booths out. Everybody else is packing up. Even though it's slow, we still have people like coming in. And a lot of people were a little surprised because they thought that the event was going to go till 7. So her and I, you know, they would walk in and we were like, yeah, you know, we are closing early due to the weather advisory, but we're still open. So if there's something that you want to look at, if there's something that you want to see, please do. We're starting to pack up a little bit here, but please take a look. You guys, when I tell you I sold almost $90 worth of crochets within that last 20-minute increment between 4:30 and 5, when people were packing up, me and the other vendor, we were like the only ones open. So people would come up and like, they were like, oh, okay, well, I was here to shop, so I guess I'm going to shop at these. And I made so many sales within that last 30 minutes. It was crazy. And for me, like, I felt like it was such a God thing, right? Like, my goal with Happiness Handmade is to spread God's light, love, and happiness to everyone, everywhere, with my makes, with my crochets, with everyone that I interact with, my patterns, my platform, you know, my YouTube, and all that stuff. And so I really felt like such a God thing to be like, nope, you know what? We're going to stay. Everyone else is packing up, but that's okay. Like, I'm going to be here and be available. And wouldn't you know, you guys, that's when I sold, within the 30 minutes, that's when I sold my no-sew dragon. It was like the sweetest little couple. They had a little daughter, and they had, they were actually, they were expecting a baby, and they had the little daughter, and the daughter was kind of going through all of my crochets. They ended up buying a couple of things, but one of the things that they bought was also the dragon. And that was in the last 30 minutes, you guys. I had a couple more customers come up too. So I share all of this to say, not to not pack up early, or to not, you know, just be like, I just encourage you to, like, if you feel like, no, like, I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit, you know, I'm not breaking any rules, like everyone else is packing up, but I'm feeling really good about staying open, like, do it. Like, trust your gut, trust your instincts, because I was able to get a lot of sales within that last 30 minutes because me and the other vendor were some of the only ones that stayed open. So again, that's a very specific example. Of course, it was hot. The heat was crazy. You know, definitely take care of yourself, take care of your booth. But don't be afraid to like go against what like everyone else, every other vendor is doing, because you're there for your business and your customers, and it may pan out really well. So I just wanted to share that little God story with you. I thought that that was so cool. If you've had one, please put in the comments, like if something really special happened or anything like that, definitely share in the comments so we all can read them. I'd love to hear your stories as well. Last thing, you guys, and not necessarily market related, but if you like the crew neck, this is my crew neck that I'm wearing. It is from Dwell Clothing Apparel, and I do have, I'm affiliate with them, and I do have a link for 15% off. So they have amazing clothes that really spread God's light, love, and happiness, which is what I try to do with my business too. So this is their unisex crew neck. It says pray on it with a little bit of lace detailing and the bow. I went with the crimson color for fall, and it is so comfy. I love it so much. So if you want some apparel from Dwell, check out my link in the description for 15% off. Okay, you guys, that is a wrap on market recap. I hope it was informative. I hope you had fun and it was entertaining for you. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to get more of my video content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do new videos every week. I love giving out full tutorials for free patterns, doing crochet vlogs, crochet day in the life, and I love walking you through anything and everything that's happening in my crochet business. I am learning just along with you guys. And so my hope is that with this channel, I can help aspiring crocheters or experienced crocheters either learn more about the crochet business, or at least learn from what I'm doing, what to not do, or what seems to be working, and all of that fun stuff. So if you want to follow along, if you want to join the Sprinkle Army, please come subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I will see you guys next week. See you later.